Hey everybody, it's Smansam or Ballistic, and like last year, I'm doing VGA/VGX thoughts now. I'm gonna talk about the awards first, like I did last time, I think, and then we're gonna move into the previews and games that I thought looked really cool, actually. So, first we're gonna do we're kind of gonna go in order from the Wikipedia page because this year VGX was not that good. The awards and stuff were handed out very oddly, and it was just not as good as previous years, and that's saying a lot because last year's and the years before that weren't good in general. You watch them for the previews basically, but the awards are pretty cool too, I guess. Uh, it's just weird to me that they changed the system because the system before was not broken really, and the whole streaming thing didn't really work out in my opinion. But let's just move on to it. First of all, we're gonna get this right out of the way. Game of the year is between BioShock Infinite, Super Mario 3D World, The Last of Us, and Tomb Raider, and then Grand Theft Auto 5, of course. And which one was to win? But, Grand Theft Auto 5, obviously, which I don't complain about. I understand that it was going to happen, but, it's kind of... I feel as though there needs to be another category called Best Story, because Grand Theft Auto 5 story, not that great, okay? BioShock Infinite has a solid story. It's amazing. I think it deserved some sort of better award than what's coming up. Anyway, so that's just kind of thoughts on that. The other games like Last of Us, I don't think deserved it. Super Mario 3D World didn't really deserve it. Tomb Raider might have deserved it. I did not play that or watch anything, but I heard that was a great game. Studio of the Year was between Irrational Games, who made BioShock Infinite, and Rockstar North, and they made Grand Theft Auto 5. Fulbright Company, who made Gone Home, which is an indie game, and then there's Naughty Dog, who made The Last of Us, and Naughty Dog won. And again, I'll go back to it. I don't think The Last of Us deserved the huge hype it had. I did do a playthrough on it, and it's still going on as this video will go up tonight as I'm recording this. But it did not deserve high praise in my opinion. It was a good game, but it wasn't a great game. And that's just kind of my thoughts on that. I'm glad that they did win something at least. It's a good story, I'll give it that. But it's just not a great game. And I think it should have went to Irrational Games for BioShock or Rockstar North for Grand Theft Auto 5, in my opinion. But Character of the Year went to... it was between Lara Croft, Trevor Phillips... I can't even say this because it's from that one Xbox game, A Brothers, A Tale of Two Sons. It's Nai and Naya. And then there was the Lutece twins, and thankfully the Lutece twins won. I did not play BioShock Infinite, admittedly, but I watched a Jesse Cox playthrough, and those two characters were amazing. I really enjoyed them whenever they came up. I was like, this is fucking crazy, because they mean something whenever they show up. And next we have Best Shooter, Battlefield 4, Call of Duty Ghosts, Metro Last Light, or BioShock Infinite, and thankfully BioShock Infinite won this, which was actually a surprise to me. I didn't think it would win anything that much, but it did end up winning Best Shooter, which is okay, but in that same light, I feel like it's not really the focus of that game. The focus of that game isn't the shooting, it's the story behind it and everything, the world and shit. I don't get how... I think it should have won Best Story if there was a category like that. And moving on, next we have another big shocker, and this was tremendous. And everyone was freaking out about this. Best Action Adventure Game, The Last of Us, Tomb Raider, Grand Theft Auto 5, and Assassin's Creed 4, Black Flag. Assassin's Creed won, and I was like, what? That's crazy. I personally have not played that game. I have not heard a lot of good things about that game, though. So there's that, and I was really confused. Best Sports Game, I'm not even going to say the other ones because I don't really care about sports games, but NBA 2K14 won. Best Independent Game, Kentucky Route Zero, Papers, Please, The Stanley Parable, and Gone Home. Gone Home won, and I don't think it should have. I think The Stanley Parable should have won. It's an amazing game, and you should all check that out, actually. You should go buy that. I'm pretty sure it's on sale right now, and it's pretty good, and it's pretty cheap. Best RPG. This was all basically the Japanese kind of RPGs, I thought. It wasn't really a whole, what... Because this year we haven't had a lot of good RPGs, I think. Ni no Kuni ended up winning over Final Fantasy, A Realm Reborn, Fire Emblem, and Pokemon X and Y. And I know people who are probably mad that Pokemon X and Y did not win. Best Fighting Game, Injustice won over Dive Kick, Killer Instinct, and Tekken. I will give it that, because Injustice is probably the best game. one of the best fighting games that came out this in the most recent years, probably, actually. It's up there with the new Mortal Kombat game. Best driving game, Forza Motorsport 5 over F1 2013, Grid 2, Need for Speed Rivals. I haven't played that game. I'm pretty sure it's the exclusive on Xbox, but yeah. Best DLC, this one was pretty obvious to me. Borderlands 2 Tiny Tina's Assault on Dragon's Keep, Dishonored, The Knife of Dunwall, Mass Effect 3 Citadel, and then Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon. I knew Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon would win when I heard about that, so that's not surprising. Best Xbox game. I want to point out the other ones that they have for nominees here are all games that you can play on both, so that didn't make sense to me. I thought it was obvious that it was always going to be an exclusive, and it's the Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons game, which is also a pretty cool dynamic with the sticks on the game. You play as each character with each stick. And the best PlayStation game went to The Last of Us, which admittedly makes sense. It is probably the best exclusive. Nintendo, Super Mario 3D World. Best PC, Gone Home. Don't agree with that at all. Best handheld game, The Legend of Zelda: A Link Between Worlds. Best casual, Animal Crossing: New Leaf. Best mobile game, Plants vs. Zombies 2, It's About Time. And this is another one. Best voice actor is Troy Baker. He totally deserved this one. This man has done 3 voices this year that I have loved. He did Joel in The Last of Us. He did Booker DeWitt in the Bioshock series, Bioshock Infinite, I mean. And then he did the Joker in Batman Arkham Origins. Like, that's insane. This man deserves this award, and I'm glad he did get it. And it was over, like, Stephen Ogg, who did Trevor Phillips, and then Willem Dafoe in Beyond Two Souls. And then himself again. He did get an award for the Bioshock Infinite one. So there's that. And then Ashley Johnson, who was Ellie in The Last of Us, won over Elizabeth in Bioshock, and Lara Croft in Tomb Raider, and then Ellen Page, who was in Beyond Two Souls. Which makes sense, in my opinion. I mean, she did a great job. She's like a 20-something-year-old girl, and she was playing like a 14-year-old. I think that was pretty great. Best soundtrack went to Grand Theft Auto 5. Kind of saw that coming. Over Bioshock Infinite, Ni no Kuni, and The Last of Us. Because all those other games didn't really have a good soundtrack. However, best song in a game, Will a Circle Be Unbroken, sung by Troy Baker in Bioshock Infinite. Probably one of the best parts of that game, because it's such a beautiful song, and it's sung so well by the 2 characters. That was over like ADHD for Grand Theft Auto 5, Sleepwalking, Grand Theft Auto 5, and then Eminem Call of Duty Ghosts with his survival song, which was my next favorite almost. And then here's the one that's kind of an opinion, basically. Most anticipated game. All these other games I feel I'm more anticipating, except for one, which would be my brother just walked in. Except for one, which would be Watch Dogs, because I've kind of lost hype for that game. So there was South Park: The Stick of Truth, which I'm gonna do a playthrough on, and then there's Destiny, Watch Dogs, Witcher 3, and the one that won was Titanfall. And I'm not really hyped up for Titanfall or anything. It's just kind of there as I might get it on PC, because it is coming to PC, even though they say it's an Xbox exclusive. And now we move on to the premieres, which really mattered. In my opinion, anyway. I thought the premieres are pretty cool. Oh my god, we're almost going on 10 minutes here. Okay. I'll probably get through this pretty quickly. So there were many games that they kind of revealed-ish, I guess, and showed more of. I'll go through the ones that I liked and tell you if I'm going to do a playthrough on them and stuff, and what I liked about them. So there was Thief, and that's what I'm going to do a playthrough on, definitely. It's a game basically like Dishonored, where I have no clue, actually. I don't know the plot point behind that game. I just thought it looked really fascinating, and I wanted to play that, because I like stealthy kind of games, and I have not done that on the channel yet, I don't think, other than Sly Cooper, which doesn't count. Here's one I just wanted to mention. Donkey Kong Country was shown as the big reveal, apparently. The big reveal was that you'd be able to play as Grumpy Kong is his name, I think? Yeah. And everyone was kind of disappointed by that. Honestly, in my opinion, I just don't like Nintendo that much. Broken Age, this indie game. I'm definitely going to do a playthrough on this, because it looked fascinating. It looked so cool, like this indie style of game. And so what happens is you're playing as 2 14-year-old children. One of them is trapped on like a spaceship where the AI is like raising him and feeding him and stuff, and he wants to leave. He wants to get out of there. So you go with that story, and then you play as a 14-year-old girl who is gonna get sacrificed to monsters, but she escapes, and she tries to she finds a way to kill this monster. so that it doesn't kill everybody. And I think that's so cool because both of those stories show that children can make a big difference in the world. And that's like what it does. The whole game is about how these children are gonna like make ripple effects that affect the whole universe. And I like that kind of thing. Next that I saw was Dying Light, which is a cool zombie game. It's kind of a hybrid between what's the game called? Dead Island, Mirror's Edge, that's the one, and then Far Cry 3, some people were saying. And I thought that looked pretty cool. The mixture between all those games would be amazing. I'm wondering how open world that is, though, and how much of a story there is, because I want to do videos on that game, so I don't know how that's going to work out. If it's like a playthrough, or if it's just some videos that are funny. Oh my god. Okay, so here's the next part. Telltale Games is doing a lot of shit. Telltale Games is making Season 2 of The Walking Dead. Not a playthrough on that, sorry guys, but I haven't done that series yet, so it's probably not going to happen. They are doing The Wolf Among Us, which is coming back hopefully January-ish, because it's too late. It's too far, guys. Then they're working on 2 new things. Tales from the Borderlands. I don't know how to explain this, because I knew it was going to come eventually, because the styles of those games are very similar with the cell shading and everything. So I kind of saw that coming at one point. I'm going to do a playthrough on that, probably. And then Telltale Games released, a friggin' teaser for the Game of Thrones Telltale game. Definitely going to do a playthrough on that as well. I'm so surprised, because everyone was saying that Telltale Games is making a Game of Thrones game. I thought that when they released the Tales from the Borderlands thing, I was like, that's going to be it. That's the thing, right? That's what it's going to be. But then it turned out they released 2 things. And that was so like, what? That's crazy. You're doing 2 things. Like, that's insane. So there's that. Then I just want to mention this one. It's an Xbox One exclusive, so I'm not going to play it. But Quantum Break is like this. It's a game where you can control time in certain aspects. It looks pretty cool. I thought it was pretty cool anyway. And next game where I'm going to do, I don't know if it's a playthrough kind of game, but I'll try to do one. Stick of Truth, the South Park game. Me and everyone who was watching it at the time was laughing our asses off at how ridiculous this game looks. So I'm looking forward to that. Then they showed a Destiny trailer, which, I've seen it all basically at this point. Destiny, it still looks amazing, but I want more. I thought we were going to get actual gameplay and maybe an interview even from Bungie, because this game does look awesome. But the problem with it is I haven't seen enough of it. A game that they showed last E3, the Division, like Tom Clancy's Division. They didn't show new gameplay. Well, they kind of did, I guess. They showed the engine and how it works and how it's like a seasonal change and how the weather affects like the tech. Like, okay, here's an example. There's a car that they showed or a street, and on that street the temperature changes, so it starts to snow or whatever, or if it gets hotter, it melts. So that's pretty cool. And the texture also. Like, lighting is a big thing. Like, there's day and night cycles. Shooting, like, there's gonna be shit that you'll recognize, basically. Because if you shoot something, it'll, like, always be there. And it'll like, ever be changing. Which I think is amazing. I think that's a cool thing. We're getting close to the end here. There's a game that I thought looked pretty cool that I don't know how it works, though. I'm really confused. No Man's Sky. It's this indie game where I think it's an open world kind of Minecraft-ish thing, without the blocks, of course, but it's basically Minecraft no blocks, but with space and like space battles apparently. I don't know if it's multiplayer, because that would be pretty cool if you ran into your friends or whatever, or you could start on the same world. That'd be pretty cool too. So there's that. Then they showed The Witcher 3, which looks amazing. I have never played a Witcher game before, but I will probably do a playthrough on this one. I'm going to get Nico, the guy who does my thumbnails, to kind of catch me up on the series maybe. I think that'd be pretty cool. And yeah, if he could just do that, I'd be golden, because I like stories and shit, and apparently Witcher 3, or Witcher the series, has a very great story, so there's that. Then they showed the last part, which was Titanfall, basically. And Titanfall, I'm okay with Titanfall at this point. I might get it on PC, like I said earlier, but Titanfall is just... It looks cool. It's a sci-fi game, and that kind of interests me, but at the same time, it's like, I don't care enough. It's also the most anticipated game, but I don't care. I don't care about it. That's my problem. But that's about it actually from not E3. That's about it from the VGX awards this year. I was hoping for a little bit more of Destiny and some other games. Like Witcher, I would have loved more, and I wanted to see some actual stuff, more stuff for Dying Light and No Man's Sky, and Thief even. Like Thief is gonna be probably the newest. After this video, there will be a series of Killzone Shadowfall and Battlefield 4. But after that, there's going to be nothing new, really, until Thief, probably, which is probably going to be my next playthrough. Other than the fact that the Wolf Among Us Episode 2 probably comes out before then. Other than that, though, there's nothing else. So you're going to have that coming up soon. So anyway, thank you guys for watching. It's been a great commentary. I thought it's been a long talk. And general thoughts of VGX this year, not a very good one, but it was fine enough. Like, the previews and shit were cool. I saw an iOS game that I can't remember, but it did look pretty cool too. I admit that an iOS game can look cool. So thank you guys for watching. I'll be back again with another VGX award video next year, and hopefully by then I'll have all of these thought videos down too. Actually, that's a good idea. So thank you guys for watching, and goodbye.